What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to edit a multicam project in Final Cut Pro. As a seasoned editor, dealing with multiple camera angles gives your video a clean and refreshing look. If you've never heard of multicam, you're literally just taking the same footage from multiple different angles and cutting between them so it makes for a more interesting video from the viewer's perspective. This is a great thing to know whether you're doing tech videos and you want a top-down desk view of something, or if you're a professional and intercutting between sometimes 10 different angles. Knowing multicam setups and perfecting it can be the difference between hours and real editing time. Thankfully, most editing softwares have some version of an automated multicam mode, which makes syncing videos 100 times easier than having to do it manually. So let's get into it. First, obviously go out and shoot your footage. In order for a multicam edit to be as seamless as possible, you have to make sure you're shooting the footage with different angles all at the same time. It's a good idea to start your video by clapping to sync all of the angles up, so that way Final Cut has something to reference when syncing your angles. Normally, Final Cut takes things like audio waveforms or timecode to sync it properly, so this step is actually really important for making sure it comes out right. Once you have those things done, all you have to do is go back into Final Cut and go and create your project and libraries, and once you do that, then you can go ahead and import your footage by going to File, Import, and Media. I would recommend that if you have all of your clips in one folder, once you import them, it'll actually sort of keyword it and create this nice little list here. So when I click on this, it actually keyworded Mac Studio Clips because that was the folder where I imported everything. So these are all of the Mac Studio clips from this unboxing video. Now, what you're gonna see here is obviously I have up here right now the finalized project. This is what the final project is. If I zoom all the way out, you guys can see obviously it looks a lot different with voiceovers and audio tracks and, you know, a bunch of different stuff. This is the finalized project. So obviously you're creating a new project, you're starting from scratch. So obviously your stuff is gonna be looking a little bit different, but let's go ahead and create the multicam project, and I'll show you the multicam window and how to go about doing all of that. So once we have all of the media imported, we're going to go ahead and just select all of the footage that we want to import into this multicam mode, into this multicam clip. So I'm going to go through here and I'm going to hold down the command option on my keyboard, and I'm just going to select some clips I see right here. So when I hold down command, it's actually selecting all of these, and basically that's just a way to have all the ones that you clicked selected all at the same time. So I'm going to select this one as well, and I'm going to select that one, and I'm going to select this one. So right now we have 6 different clips. Once you have your clips picked out that you want to bring into the multicam mode, all you have to do is basically just go ahead and right click, and then this window will come up. You just have to do a new multicam clip. Then once I do that, we can call it, let's say, test multicam. And then I use audio for synchronization. That's on by default already, so we're going to make sure that that is checked. And basically that is where the audio waveforms come in. Now Final Cut does its best job of automatically syncing this stuff up, but it might need some tweaking, and it very likely will, so just keep that in mind. It might not be fully completely synced up. So we're going to go ahead and press on OK, and once it does that, you can see it says synchronizing angles, synchronizing clips, and now we are at our test multicam. So let me just double click on that to open it, and you can see there are videos and clips all over the place here. Now we only have 2 different angles set, so there shouldn't be this many angles here. All of these different things right here, when I go down image 6856, these are all clip names. However, they each individually made their own angles because of how they were placed. So we only have 2 angles. We have a top-down angle and a side angle, so we don't need all this extra stuff. So now basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through the clips that you have here. I'm gonna call this top-down, and then we can call this one, let's call this side. So this is the top-down angle. So all of the shots that are top down are going to go here. You could see that this shot looks really, really oversaturated and really blown out. That doesn't look right, and that's not how I shot it. That's not what the environment looked like, and it's just messy. And so the reason for that is because I recorded in HDR mode on the iPhone, and importing it into Final Cut, it looks at it slightly different. So what we have to go and do is we have to go into here, right here, and then just search HDR, and once we do that, HDR tools will pop up. We just put that filter on it and go to the second drop down thing here, and then the footage looks back to normal and it looks perfectly fine. So if you're having an issue where things look completely oversaturated and overblown and it doesn't look right, select the HDR tools filter, and then you could see it's perfectly fine and it's back to normal. Look through the clips that you have here, and this is top down, this is top down as well. Let me just see. Yeah, so both of these are top down. Now I don't know what order that is, but basically, and this is side as well. These might not be in sync, and we're gonna change that in a second. So these two are side, and this is side. So we're just gonna go through and place everything in the right angle, and I will be back when I do that. Okay, so all of the clips that I selected are in either top down or side. You could see it created all of these various different angles here that are no longer needed. So you could just go through, click on this, and then go down to delete angle, and just go ahead and delete that. And we're going to do the same for the rest of these here. And so now we're just left with top down angle and side angle. Now, if I go to view and go to the angle viewer, you can see that it brings me the top down view and also the side view as well. And you can see as I go through this, this is not synced up. This is not the exact same view as we're seeing right now. This is not synced up with each other. So in order to get this properly synced, what I'm actually going to do is I'm gonna click on one of the videos and have it highlighted, and then this is my monitoring angle right here, the top down view. All I want to do is click on this box and then do sync selection to monitoring angle, and you can see it just sort of scooched that over. And now when we play this, you can see that it is actually lined up and it is synced correctly. And we also can do that with this one. So I'm going to do this one and do the same thing, sync selection to monitoring angle, and then it scooches it back over here, and you can see that these are now properly synced. I just picked some random clips that I had hanging around in the Mac Studio project, so I will actually switch my view over to the finalized multicam in the actual project, so that way you can see what it actually should look like, and you'll get a better idea of, you know, the things that you can do from there, and, you know, different stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm actually in my real Mac Studio multicam for this project. This is the one that actually went out on YouTube. You can see as I scrub through this, I have all of the various footage over here selected already on the multicam. We go back to the regular project, and you can see as I skim through this, different things pop up. As the video is playing, you can make your cuts and swap between angles very easily on the fly without much difficulty. And it's really great because you basically can do really quick cuts to things. If I messed up with an angle and I want to switch it to something else, the monitoring angle is right here. That is the one that we have right now. So I'm going to toggle that off, and you can see right now, this is the side view is the active video angle, but let's say I messed up when I was cutting it and I want it to be top down here. So I could just do that, and it switches to the top down camera pretty easily. So that's how to do that. But if we want to do stuff in real time, we can go ahead and just play the video now. And as I'm playing this, I could just go through it and keep cutting between things. So obviously that wasn't part of the finalized video, and we're gonna go through here, and now this one shows you a little bit more here. So I can cut between side, top down, side, just keep cutting and keep cutting and keep cutting. And so those cuts show up right here. You can see that. These are the cuts that I did just now. Obviously, that doesn't look the right way, but you could see, obviously, as I'm going through and cutting the footage up, if it's on a raw project file, then obviously, you know, as I'm going through, you know, I can make those adjustments as necessary. But yeah, that's the introduction to the multicam view, how to set up a multicam on Final Cut, and then how to also edit with it. If you want to change anything specifically, again, you can basically just double click and go into the actual multicam, and if there's something that's out of sync, you can fix that through, you know, these options here, and you can perfect that and tweak it to your liking. It's also important as well, if you have audio, base audio from one of those clips, and one is good audio and one is bad audio. Let's say, for example, it says here that I'm using the top down audio, maybe the side view camera audio was really bad for whatever reason, and maybe that I don't want to use that audio, maybe that's bad audio. By default, a lot of the times what Final Cut has is it has this selected, and so as I'm cutting, it will actually cut to whatever the audio is on whatever angle I'm cutting to, which again is not what we want. We want the audio source to stay the same throughout, and it says enable video only switching, and so once we do that, when we're cutting around, it will only affect what we see. It will only affect the angles in the video that we're seeing, and it will not affect the audio in any way. You also can toggle it so if you just want to switch the audio, you can do that as well, but for the most part, you're going to want to make sure that you only switch video, just because, like I said, for example, if the audio is bad on one angle, you know, you want to make sure that you have the audio that's good and it's consistent throughout, and that way you don't hear any discrepancies in terms of differences in any potential audio in any of the, you know, different angles. But again, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy and you guys learned something new. If this is something that you guys want to see me keep doing, let me know down below in the comments if you enjoyed this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button. Also, go ahead and subscribe and turn that post notification bell on, so that way you never miss out on a brand new upload. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, have a good one, guys. Peace.